Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got a good video today. As soon as I come across the story, I know it's the story I want to talk about. Before I get into that, I want to say something about yesterday's video. I have not read any of the comments yet or anything. I haven't seen what views it's gotten yet because I get distracted if I do that, and I'll start talking about it in today's video. But after I did yesterday's video, I actually looked up the Van Allen belts. And there are, I was wrong. I thought it was just like one big belt similar to the asteroid belt that goes around in our solar system, but it's not. There's a couple planets, Jupiter, Earth, and I think there's one other one that has, if they have a magnetic, if the planet has a magnetic, magnetic poles, it might have a Van Allen belt. So I was wrong about that. Okay, anyway, let's get into this today. Today, I came across this story, and I want to make a few points about it. The link will be down below from Instagram, and then there'll be some other news links, because this story's been in the news. It's been on TMZ. Let me paint the picture for you. Like I said, the Instagram, I'll put that right on top, so you can see Bobbi Storm's Instagram post, her own post. Bobbi Storm is a gospel singer. I have never heard of her. I'm Roman Catholic. I don't listen to gospel music. I'm not familiar. I'm up from New England, from Connecticut, and it's gospel music is kind of foreign up here. It's a whole different something I wasn't raised with. So I've never heard of this woman before. She sounds like she's new on the scene. She says in this video she was just nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. She says she just quit her job, so she's an up-and-coming star in the gospel singing world. Okay, so let me paint the picture of her video here. It starts off where she's being kind of backed up down the aisle. Everybody's sitting down. It doesn't say what city this is in or what flight or anything. It's a Delta flight, but that's all you know about it. And she's kind of backing up down the aisle, and everybody else is seated. The plane's ready to take off, and there's a person in a suit asking her to sit down, and he says he's the flight leader. I haven't flown since, I think 2019 was the last time I flew. I've never heard of a flight leader. I assume that's the person, like the head, I don't want to say head stewardess, but that's what it sounds like to me. So he's in a suit, and he's asking her to sit down. And she's saying, well, the remain seated sign isn't on yet. So she's arguing, you know, that he's kind of rushing her to sit down. And she sits down, and he's still standing there, and she starts to announce to everybody about how she's won Grammys, and who, you know, where they can get it on, you know, where they could download it. Michael McDonald, isn't Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers? Isn't she says Warren Z? I've never heard of Warren Z. I've heard of Warren G, and she mentions the Regulators. Those all sound familiar to me. But anyway, she says she's up for 2 Grammys. She quit her job, so she's very excited about it. And she wants to sing. She says she hasn't sung. She said she was going to sing as soon as she got on the plane, but she hasn't sung in a few years. Apparently she does this. She's done this before. And she wants to sing for everybody before the plane takes off. So the flight leader is like, you know, are you going to be quiet? You know, and she won't answer him. She's being kind of defiant, and she says he says, are you going to be quiet? And she turns and she asks the people, do you want me to sing? And then he says, I'm asking you, you know, because she won't answer his question. So she asks him, well, will I be arrested if I don't listen to you? And he says, well, you won't be taking this flight if you don't listen to me. I am the flight leader, and you won't be taking this flight. So she backs down and says, okay. And he walks away. Okay, so not even 10 seconds after he walks away, she turns to everybody on the plane and says, I'm going to sing this on DL, on the down low. So she defies him, and she starts singing her song, her gospel song. She sings a few verses, I guess, and she tells everybody not to clap, so not to get the attention of the flight leader. And then she's basically selling it. That's what I see as a woman selling her song. To me, it's an advertisement, because she's saying, if you like this, she's, you know, where you can get it, where you can download it, who's on it. So to me, it's an advertisement. All right, let me talk about this, because I am not a big fan of this, and I'm going to tell you why in a sec. I'm going to tell you why here. The first thing that came to mind is, if this happened on a flight I was on, I would pray. I would pray. But I pray for her. I pray for this to be over and for her to shut up. That's honestly, I know it's not too nice, but that's what I would pray for. I'd pray for her to be quiet. What if certain religions sing? You know, singing is a big part of their religion. I think Catholicism, I was raised Roman Catholic, and singing gospel, this is all foreign to me. This is something, you know, when Catholic, we go to pray, there's a cross. I'm even kind of amazed, like in Protestant churches, there's no cross with Jesus on it at the front of the church. There's no crosses. Islam sings, and Hindus, Buddhism, they all have songs. So what if somebody stood up, like the Islamic call to prayer? I think I'm going to put some links down below, because I'm kind of curious about that, because Islamic people are supposed to pray at certain times of the day, the call to prayer and everything. And there's some interesting rules I was reading about that, or helpful hints if you're Islamic. But what if an Islamic person, you know, all of a sudden Bell started belting out the call to prayer? What would tell me what would happen on that plane then? You know, or what if it was a Hindu, you know, a Hindu person started singing? You know, that might be comforting to all the other Hindu people. You know, it might be a very comforting thing. But to people like me that don't listen to gospel music, I have social anxiety disorder. The last time I flew, we were at the Atlanta airport, in the big airport in Atlanta, the main hub, and we were delayed to take off. It was the middle of summer, and it was hot outside, and the air conditioning was just barely keeping it cool inside, and we couldn't take off for, it was a good 3 hours, because there was a problem with one of the bathrooms. One of the bathrooms didn't work, so we were delayed for like about 3 hours. I'm 6'3", okay, and I can't afford first class or anything like that. And when I sit down in this chair, I was against the window. I mean, I can't even move my knees, and I can't move my shoulders. My shoulders against this person's shoulder, and it's against the wall. I'm literally just boxed in, and I have social anxiety disorder. When I look up, there's just wall-to-wall people in front of me, wall-to-wall people behind me. You know, the top right overhead right here. I mean, it's an uncomfortable feeling, let alone for like 3 hours. And with the feeling the heat, like in my mind, the heat's getting hotter and hotter in the plane. You know, I look outside and I see all the people sweating, loading the plane, and everything, and I get tense right now just talking about it. Now, if somebody started belting out a song right then, to some people that might be calming and relaxing, you know, sharing this is God's gift and all that. But some people, it's foreign. You know, it's something they're not used to. You know, and it might be a beautiful blessing from God, and I'm not arguing that. But to some people, it's anything foreign like that, especially like a loud noise in that kind of situation, is going to make people like me tense. You know, and God knows, you know, God knows what could happen in that kind of situation. It's not considerate. It's really not considerate, and I don't think it's all that safe either. Like you know, to some people it's comforting. To other people, it starts to bring up anxiety and tension. Like I said, what if a Muslim person stood up and started belting out the call to prayer on this flight instead of a gospel singer? Freedom. We have freedom of religion, and that doesn't mean just Catholic, just Christianity. That means all religions. Or what if somebody got up and started praising Satan? And you know, it's freedom of religion. You know, how comfortable. You know, so it's not comforting to all people. Okay. And what I saw here, it was a sales pitch. It really was. To me, this was a sales pitch. What if I stood up and I said, you know, well, you know, God, because I believe, you know, I have faith in everything, and art saved me. You know, I got into recovery, and I started telling everybody, here's my painting. You can pick it up on eBay. You can get this painting for blah, 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 blah. I painted it, you know, and I started doing a presentation at my seat. You know, to me, it's the same thing. It's not appropriate. It's really not. And more than that, it's not comforting to all people. To some people, it's comforting if you're familiar with it. But to other people like me and other people, or especially, and I'm Christian, And it would cause anxiety in me. I can't imagine what it would do to other people, like a Hindu person, or to some, you know, some people like that have social anxiety that are already nervous about flying. It's not considerate. It's not appropriate at all. It's not the place to proselytize. I think I have such a hard time with that word. And, you know, I don't think it's cool at all. Honestly, let me know what you think. The links will be down below. I'll be back later with another video. The Van Allen belt, I was wrong about it. All right, you guys have a good Tuesday.